WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Guess how old this whiskey is? 16 years of age, and very, very small underneath it says age matters. All right, this is a Ben Nevis. This was distilled 1997. This was bottled 2013, 10 years ago. This is something I bought in an auction. It's 16 years of age, as you can see, 50.2%. I've said everything that's on here except for it says single malt whiskey, product of Scotland, distilled at Ben Nevis, unchill filtered natural color, 70 CL. So the Whiskyman. This is a guy in Belgium. Between the years of 2000, I think it was 2013 he started. So let's see here. I have a little bit of information here. 2013 he started this series called Age Matters. And there is a little QR code here, which is very, very innovative for 10 years ago. Even most of the distilleries today don't have QR codes. Yes, TWhm does and some others, but not very many. So if you type that in there, you actually get forwarded to this following saying on this website, this landing page. Ben Nevis, 1997, 2013. So you tried the QR code in this bottle. Great. I'm reading verbatim. Maybe you're in shop holding, not you're in a shop, you're in shop holding the bottle and wondering if you would like this whiskey. Maybe you're at home and you already purchased the bottle. Thanks. Or maybe you're at a tasting and this whiskey is part of the lineup. You're interested in this range, Age Matters by the Whiskyman, and that's just fine by me. This Ben Nevis has a nose and taste that is fresh, zesty, and a bit grassy. Full on citrus fruits, grapefruits, and even some tangerines. Did not get that. But watch out, it's surprisingly drinkable even at this strength. Enjoy. And the other bottles in this series, there are a total of 5. We had a Little Mill 21. Wow, that's worth money today. Bruichladdich 22, worth money today. This Ben Nevis 16, a Kleinlich 17, which a buddy of mine in Hamburg actually did a report on in German, or a product review, and the Legic 15. So those are all from the year 2013. So 2015, he stopped bottling, or the Whiskyman, stopped bottling, and they had a total of 37 bottles on the market. Now, this bottle originally sold for about 80 euros. At least that's what the Whiskybase says here. And today you can find it online for between 110, 135 with postage. Somebody wants 25 euros to send this bottle from Belgium to Germany. And 119 euros. So I paid 70. So, well, that's also not true. I bought an auction, Whiskey Auction Berlin. And I paid for this whiskey here, so 70 euros plus then 10 euros 36 for the sales fee, another 9.78 to send it to me. So I paid 90 euros and 14 cents for this. 90 euros for a 16-year-old Ben Nevis. It's great. Now, there's 3 things missing on the label. Now, I'm sorry, this is a 10-year-old bottle, and today we know that this is important. Cask. We assume it's hogshead, bourbon, something like that. It's all right, but there's a tiny, tiny, tiny little peach tint to it. I don't know. Number 2, how many bottles? I know it's a pain in the neck. You can do either write the bottle number by hand, or you have to fill up the bottles and put labels on afterwards. And the third thing that I would like to know, what was it here? The types of barrels, how many bottles? Oh, cask strength. Nowhere do we have anywhere on here. Is it a single barrel? Is it cask strength? We don't know. We assume, but, and especially if we knew the bottle number, we would know, oh, look, there's 800. That couldn't have been out of 1 barrel. And oh, look, 50.2. Is that really, really cask strength? We don't know. We assume, but we don't know. So those are the things I'd like to know. But I'm just being very, very nitpicky. What am I going to compare it to? I'm going to compare it to the bottle I bought on the auction. Same auction. Probably the same seller, who knows. This I bought for 40 euros. This I bought for 70 euros. This is 16, as you can see. Even someone who's blind can see this. This is 8 years of age. So this is from a Belgium, still the cork's bad. The Belgium independent bottler. This is from a Dutch, from the Netherlands, independent bottler here. All right, so just tiny little bit. I still had something in my glass, so that's okay. On the nose. Now, it's weird. I get a little bit of that. Okay, I call it the leaf pile moment in November. So in October, you put all the leaves together in a pile. You forgot to put them into the sack or get rid of them or whatever. Shred them, whatever you do with the leaves, and then it's Thanksgiving, before it freezes and before it snows. We have to put them, we have to sack them, and there's a little bit of the moldiness going on in here. I don't get much grassiness. I don't get much. I get a citrus, yes. I don't get the tangerines or the grapefruit. It's a little bit on the interesting, funky side. Me and Ben Nevis were not the best of friends. I thought this would be the perfect example to see if I can find out the distillery character here. On the nose, solid C. But it is a little funky. Now, one person, not just one, a couple of people wrote here on Whiskybase. They said here, notes on the nose of grass, grain, fruit such as gooseberries, strawberries, a little melon, and a little more cherries. The smell of oil, too, a little bit of linseed oil, just a little bit of salt and seaweed. The seaweed, more of a dead algae moment. Maybe some ginger, and then the grass tends to be, in the long run, more wet hay. And that wet hay moment, wet leaves, everything, a little bit of that moldy type of fungus moment going on here. All right, cheers. What shocked me is the astringency. I was not expecting that. The 50.2, there's a little bit of alcohol. That's what we really notice here. Pears, apples, maybe like a not yet ripe banana, very, very green banana. The ginger, a little bit of pepper. The nose is better than the palate, and I did not really like the nose. Someone else wrote here, fresh vegetal, slightly austere, green brochet, some cork, bread dough. It's nice, quite complex and fresh, and a rounder than the nose for the taste. Still brochet, like the buns you get. Yeast, get the yeast, malt, dry biscuits, can be a slight hints of rancio. Rancio is what happens when you put something in an oak cask, for example, Madeira, put it under an extreme heat for 10 years, and it turns out it's an oxidation process that happens to some spirits, especially wines, in extreme heat situations. There's one, is it a Spanish or French wine where they actually put it in these demijohns, these glass containers, out in the field so the sun can actually go on and they can create this moment. I'm not familiar with that taste, but that might be what I'm getting here. All right. Put a little bit of water in it, brought it down from 50.2 down to about 45, 44. A lot of the astringency disappears with a little bit of the reduced the strength, alcohol strength. It's a little bit. It's with water. It's a C, more of a C minus. Without water, it's definitely a C minus. Value for money. It's hard to judge. What 16-year-old Ben Nevis do you know out there? And at above 46%, that's like something that doesn't even happen anymore. That's a bargain if you want to have that whiskey profile, that taste profile on this type of whiskey. So I think the 70 euros I paid, or the 90 some euros I paid for this is okay. Would I pay 135 for it? Would I pay 90 euros again for this? No. So I have to give it a C minus for value for money. Uniqueness, almost an A minus. So there were 5 of these aged matters bottles. shows what happened. That was probably difficult to get even more back then, 10 years ago, for a halfway nice price. One of the first QR codes I've ever seen on a bottle, if we look at chronologically, today they're on many bottles, but 10 years ago, I mean, that guy was a pioneer. And exactly the same bottles, by the way. Even on the bottom, almost everything is identical, even though this was 2003, this was 2010. This is that right what I said? This was 2020, and this was 2003. This is a 13, yes, 13, 2020, so even 7 years between the two. It's a trip to the past. This is really, really kind of cool. And yet, both of these whiskeys are not my favorite. I should have, if I had one, maybe other people bought the whiskeys I wanted. Down the nose, this Ben Nevis is younger. And there's a barrel char note in here. The wood, I really, really do not like the taste, the finish of this whiskey. Something's not right there for me. This is okay, but still not my flavor profile. All right, so my question of the day is only one single question. I'm going to use the exact same question here. Does age matter? Does age matter? Write down your thoughts, comments, and your opinions down below in the comments, and let everyone read along and comment and create a little bit of a conversation discussion here. Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, and telling others about this crazy guy in Germany tasting long-lost whiskey. And what we're doing over here with the channel is tasting often rare and exotic whiskeys. Bye-bye.